Hello everyone, my name is Yu Tianxiong, and today I'd like to share David's book The Johnstown Flood with you. Floods hit Johnstown almost as regularly as rain itself. Johnstown rarely goes through a year with dead water in the streets, and often for several days at a time. During the 8 years after 1880, there were 7 floods, including 4 bad ones in 1885, 1887, 1888, and 1889. And the 1889 one is what we're going to discuss about today. First, let's take an overview of the flood. The Johnstown flood occurred on May 31st, 1889, after the catastrophic flooding of the South Fork Dam on the Little Calumet River, 40 miles upstream of the town of Johnstown. The dam broke after several days of extremely heavy rainfall, unleashing 20 million tons of water from the reservoir known as Lake Calumet. The flood killed 209 people and caused $17 million of damage. After the flood, the American Red Cross, led by Clark Barton and other 50 volunteers, undertook a major disaster relief effort. Support for victims came from all over the United States and 18 foreign countries. After the flood, survivors suffered a series of legal defeats in their attempts to recover damages from the dam's owners. Their skillful lawyers have argued that the whole dreadful occurrence was an act of God. Would have been very easy in judging by the outcome. They made their point with great effort. However, at the end, the public succeeded. Public indignation at the furniture prompted the development in American law, changing a fault-based regime to strict liability. And here is some numbers in the Johnstown flood. 209 people died, 99 entire families died, including 396 children, 122 women and 198 men were left widowed. More than 750 victims were never identified and rested in the plot of the unknown in Greenville Cemetery. Bodies were found as far away as Cincinnati as late as 1911. 1,600 homes were destroyed. 17 million in property damage was done. Flood lines were found as high as 89 feet above river level. Here are some photos about the flood from the website of the Johnstown Flood Museum. This one said that many people who survived the flood waters were killed in the fire that broke out in debris trapped at the stone bridge. The following are David's perspective. Although the flood happened frequently in Johnstown, quite a few were doing by 1889. Almost all the people ignored the warning. It created no alarm in people's minds since they had heard such fake warnings before. Along with the South Fork Hunting and Fishing Club, Johnstown's leading citizens were responsible for the disaster. The dam and lake were sold to private interests, the South Fork Hunting and Fishing Club, but they did not use enough money in building the dam. David said they had changed the natural order of things and had done so badly. They had ravaged much of the mountain country's protective timber, which caused a dangerous runoff foreign mountain stones. They obstructed and diminished the capacity of the rivers, and they had boggled the repair and maintenance of the dam. Perhaps worst of all, they had failed to comprehend what they were doing, and particularly what those consequences might be. The point, of course, was not that dams were mistakes in the man. If they could set in motion the whole series of chain reactions when changing the natural order, that they can better know what they are doing. In the case of the South Fork Dam, the men in charge of rebuilding it, those who were supposed to be experts in such matters, had not been expert, either in their understanding of what they did or in their understanding of the possible consequences of what they did. After reading David's book and some reference about the Johnstown Flood, I figured out that their perspectives are almost the same, and I totally agree with their perspectives. Under their perspectives and the history of the Johnstown Flood, my perspectives are like the following shows. I think the weather is a problem. Johnstown rains too much, and because of the high frequency fraud and sometimes about the fake news, when the flood came, the people did not pay attention to it, and the higher department did not receive the news as soon as possible. Furthermore, during the flood, people were so scared. When they were fleeing from the flood, not all of them gave their hands to someone and helped them to flee. The dam cannot handle the great flood, and the South Fork hunting and fishing clubs should be bright. They prefer to save money instead of save life. Although the flood is terrible and seems like that the Johnstown flood is a natural disaster, but in my opinion, actually it is kind of man-made disaster. About the planning and policy, the Johnstown flood had improved the law and the U.S. legal system, as well as expanded the rule of the American Red Cross. Here are the references, and thank you for watching and listening.